So, I thought I'd talk to you guys today about why I feel that the ban on sodas in New York is a bad thing. Not only do I think it's bad as far as people's personal liberties are concerned, I feel that it is bad because it's going to actually backfire, and the intended result is not going to happen. Okay, so, bear with me. This is something that I haven't seen anyone else discuss from this perspective in psychology, but here we go. This is a 12-ounce can of Mountain Dew, legal for sale in New York. This also 12-ounce can of Mountain Dew, legal for sale in New York. Put them together. You can buy them at the same place in New York. But this 24-ounce can of Mountain Dew that has the same fluid content as these two cans here, this is now illegal in New York. The people that proposed this law were thinking that if you bought one of these and then had to buy another when you finished that one, and then had to buy another and another, you would count in your mind how many you had had in a day. And somehow that number would stigmatize the amount of soda that you had consumed to you. If these people had looked at the available science on comparable things that people get addicted to, they would see that they're going about this completely the wrong way. Because there is plenty of science out there on other addictive substances. Now, take for instance this bottle of scotch. Alright, the Macallan. This has lasted me, almost 3 years. But you don't see a bottle like this for sale at a corner store, at a convenience store. You know, what you actually see are little bottles. Right? Little bottles of Cuervo, little bottles of Jim Beam and Jack Daniels, little bottles of Bacardi, right? You don't see these for sale in things that, you know, normally in a liquor store that's just on the corner, you know, with a gas station. The reason why you see shelves of small bottles is because alcoholism is stigmatized. And if an alcoholic goes in public with a small bottle or mixes it into a drink and then puts the larger thing away, then they don't look as bad publicly. If I were to walk down the street drinking from the bottle like this, people would say, wow, that's a giant freaking thing of scotch that he's drinking from. You know, that's not a little flask, that's a whole bottle. Okay, so if I were walking out down the street as an overweight person and you saw me drinking one of these two drinks, which one do you think would cause me the most stigma from other people? This one would. Because people would look at me and say, wow, he's drinking that giant 24-ounce can of Dew. That's a lot of calories for him. You know? So if I were a fat person and I didn't want other people to see me as causing my own obesity, I would probably go out in public with very little drinks and hide any source of big drinks or big calories from people. The same way that alcoholics do. They hide their bottles all over. They only show very little of what they actually have. So, I wish New Yorkers good luck in shedding the pounds, but I feel that in a couple of years we'll be able to compare the obesity of New Yorkers versus everyone else, and I don't think that this soda ban on drinks larger than 16 ounces is going to help anyone. It's not going to make anyone think to themselves that they're drinking a lot just because they had to open a lot of little containers. It's just not going to work. And taking this off of the shelf is actually making people only look at this for calorie content. If they actually had to look at this, you know, this big giant can instead of these two little cans, they might actually realize how many calories they're consuming.